Robin Hood and Little John contrive by means of a charade to save a young man's honor and unite him with his maid.
2 hours past dinner time. My belly's complaining.
Quiet. I hear horses approaching.
Maybe a knight with a fat purse. It's a knight from the Crusades. An empty saddle. Another brave man killed in the Holy Land.
That shield bears the arms of Donington. Good man and a great champion in the lists. Aye, and a great gambler. Many's the time we've diced out the night together.
He won't be fighting or dicing anymore. They'll hang his shield in the wall, and there'll be another master of Donington.
Walter, that's not fair. Walter, do you know who's to be May Queen in Nottingham?
You? You make the loveliest May Queen in the land. Oh, but you'll be my wife by then, and the May Queen must be a maid. Oh, when will they name our marriage day?
You promised your mother you'd wait till your father returned from the wars.
The wars? Oh, if they last much longer, I'll be off to them myself, and then we'll have to wait until I return. Someone on the estate has died. Yeah, I'll put that on Nanny Hodge. Is there straw in my bag?
Oh, little.
Thank you. Mother says I must behave with more dignity in front of the retainers. Father. Father.
With the whole army, he was the first to scale the wall.
I'd sooner he'd been the last.
It was a valiant deed.
Better a live husband than a dead hero.
The king himself sent his condolences. He graciously promised that on his return to England, he would favor the House of Donington, although he could never repay so great a loss.
We thank His Majesty.
But until then, I could wish that my friend's family had an older and more powerful protector.
Walter.
England is sick. With the king away, the barons scheme for power. They steal the lands of better men who are at the war.
You need not be concerned for us. Walter is young, but he is to marry Genevieve, and she's the daughter of Lord Blackstone. But so powerful a protector, no one dare molest us.
This curtain tower will need to be higher. We're building an impregnable fortress, Master Builder, not a toy. That will be all. I will speak with you presently. Sir Walter of Donington.
Lord Blackstone.
Walter, my dear boy, this is sad news. Your father was a fine man, respected through the whole of England. You have my deepest sympathy. You may leave us, my pet. It
Sit down, dear boy. Come, you must be dry riding this fine morning. Well, you are now the master of Donington. A great responsibility, eh, Walter?
Yes, my lord. I'm most conscious of it.
Yours is an old and respected family. Never a great power in the land, perhaps. But if you handle your affairs wisely, who knows, one day it may be your destiny to raise them to that position.
I wish I were older, my lord. I know that you're a busy man, but I hope that sometimes I might be able to come and seek your advice.
My dear Walter, I am touched, deeply touched. Of course, I know I can never take his place, but I hope it will not be long before you can call me father.
Lord Blackstone.
Has it occurred to you, my boy, that when you marry Genevieve, our combined estates could make us the greatest power in the Midlands? We must look to our defenses, Walter, and build up our fighting strength.
Why should we do that, my lord?
I'll tell you a little secret. If we built up a strong enough force, we could have alliances with Thomas of Kent, Lord Seymour of Exeter, and the Earl of Durham. Then we'd have power indeed.
It wouldn't please the king.
But the king is in the Holy Land.
Oh, we all pray that he'll soon return.
We do indeed, but we'd only be securing ourselves against our enemies.
His Majesty might not see it that way.
And how might he see it?
As an alliance to seize the kingdom. As treason.
An ugly word. Surely not. But perhaps you're right, my boy. I hadn't thought of it that way. It would be a tragic thing if His Majesty were to misunderstand us. We couldn't risk that, could we now? It seems it will be I that will have to come to you for advice, Walter.
My lord.
Out of the mouths of babes and sucklings.
My lord, I was wondering if... Well, now that my father will not be returning, perhaps you would name a day for the wedding.
My dear boy, of course. But let us first wait until your family is out of mourning. It would hardly be proper to be too precipitate, would it? And now I'm sure Genevieve will feel I'm keeping you from her too long. So pray don't stand on ceremony.
Thank you, my lord.
Arthur!
Yes, my lord?
Ride straight to Count de Clifford and tell him I've urgent business with him.
Yes, my lord.
My Lord Blackstone.
My dear de Clifford, you came quickly.
Your message was urgent.
There is sad news, the death of our friend and neighbor, Sir Richard Donington.
Sad enough to keep me from my hunting, I think not.
It seemed to me of great importance, both to you and myself.
Oh, indeed. You interest me.
3 great estates, yours, mine, and Donington between. 100,000 acres if the 3 were welded into one. But I've offered you no wine.
No, thank you. I wasn't thinking of selling my acres.
Nor I of buying them. But what an estate that would be. If we could come to some arrangement, we could be the greatest power in the Midlands.
A pleasing picture. But not one the Doningtons would care about. Old-fashioned people, still faithful to the king.
I wasn't thinking of asking the Doningtons.
But you have no claim on the estate. There is an heir, young Sir Walter.
Yes, a foolish boy who doesn't take his opportunities. You remember his father was a great gambler.
Oh, yes. He and I rattled the dice often enough.
Sir Richard could have owed you a great sum of money before he left the Crusades.
But in point of fact, I owed him money.
But just supposing he had owed you, and supposing you had not cared to press the matter while he was away at the wars.
You mean, not the sort of thing a gentleman would do?
Precisely. And now that he's dead, you claim repayment. I could bear witness that Sir Richard acknowledged the debt. I shall say that he asked if misfortune overtook him in the Holy Land, the debt should be settled by the sale of his estate.
Thank you for reminding me. How I could have forgotten so great a debt, I can't imagine.
We will go to Nottingham today and lay your claim before the sheriff.
Ah, now the sheriff is a reasonable man. If we were to make him a generous present...
He would undoubtedly see the justice of our cause.
But if we do share this great power, would we be able to trust each other, old friend?
Yes, that point had occurred to me. I was going to suggest that you married my daughter, Genevieve.
I am honored. And I understood she was already promised to young Walter of Donington.
She was, but I certainly wouldn't care to have my daughter marry a landless pauper. Why, my darling, what a long face.
Good morning, sir.
I was so sorry to hear this sad news, Genevieve.
Poor Walter. He hoped you were going to name our wedding day.
What a sweet, sympathetic girl she is, and what a wife she'll make. But we'll speak of marriage some other time, my dear. At the moment, Clifford and I go to Nottingham to see the sheriff.
Surely, Sir Walter, you would not disgrace your father's name by refusing to honor his gambling debts.
My father had no debts. He settled all his affairs before he left for the Holy Land.
That cannot be. The Count de Clifford here has made a sworn statement.
With due respect to the Count de Clifford, his statement is unsupported.
That is not so. The Count had a witness to the transaction.
My boy, it grieves me more than I can say that I should be the one to bring such misfortune to your family. But this is a court of justice, and here we must speak the truth, or be answerable to a higher court. Before your father left with his majesty, he spoke with me about this debt. Poor knight, he was much concerned for his family.
Oh, Sir Walter, what do you say?
My father spoke with me before he left. He told me he'd settled all his debts to the very last penny. How could he possibly have forgotten such a sum? My Lord Sheriff, I ask for your protection. It's clear that this is a false claim to steal our land.
Lord Sheriff, Sir Walter has given me the lie. I demand satisfaction.
Very well, gentlemen. There is only one place where an affair of this nature can be settled between men of noble birth, and that is on the field of honor. You will meet in the lists on the 1st day of May to support your claims against each other by force of arms. And may justice triumph.
You may leave us, Spencer.
You must not fight. I forbid it.
But I must, Mother, or we forfeit our land.
He will kill you.
The Clifford, he's no great swordsman.
You are only a boy.
I'm the head of the family now, Mother.
Soon there will be no family.
Lady Genevieve Blackstone.
Genevieve.
Walter, you must not fight.
Oh, it's you too? I'm not frightened of fighting De Clifford.
But De Clifford is not fighting.
What do you mean?
I've just heard he is hiring a champion to fight for him.
Oh, believe it. He may be a liar, but he's no coward.
It's true. This champion has never been defeated in combat. They say that in the lists alone he has killed 26. The Clifford is paying him a vast sum. Oh, Walter.
It's no good, Jenny. I must fight or lose our land. Without land, I'd never be able to marry you.
I'd sooner have you landless than dead. Whatever happens, Walter, I'll never marry anyone else.
Send him in. Good day, Sir Walter. Will you take wine with us?
Thank you, my lord, but I wish to speak to you alone about the fight.
It is a matter that affects the Count de Clifford. You had better speak before him. Well, young man.
I've heard that the Count de Clifford is hiring a champion to fight for him. I cannot believe that this is true.
But, Sir Walter, surely you know that these days men of noble birth seldom enter the lists to fight their own causes.
My father always did.
Possibly, but that was some years ago. Our Norman nobles are always represented by professional champions. It's fair enough. You are at liberty to hire anyone you please.
I have no money to hire champions.
These impoverished families with their airs and graces.
You'll swallow those words. Draw, De Clifford.
Sir Walter, your conduct does not become you. Please leave us.
You want me to fight that boy?
Yes.
Then why'd you send for me? Any country butcher would have carved him up for you.
Then he should cause you no trouble. Surely you're not complaining?
I like to fight a champion who's worthy of my mettle. I don't care about killing boys.
So then you refuse?
No, but I find the whole business distasteful. Of course, another £100 might alter my opinions.
And the tourney is to be held on May Day morning. Tourney. Murder is a better word.
The Clifford and Blackstone are after the Donington estate. Why, it's highway robbery.
Yeah. Highway?
Well, I mean, we must go into Nottingham and see fair play. How would you all like to go to Nottingham and see the May Day fair?
Why? Well, I'd like to see the May Queen crowned. There's a pretty sight.
No word for your father? I'm tired of your pouting, Mistress Vinegar. You must forget that callow youth, Donington. I found you a more eligible suitor, a man of substance and worldly experience. Come, my dear.
Will Your Majesty give the signal for the festivities to begin? The acrobats are given wine. They may drink my health.
You may drink the sheriff's health.
To the sheriff. Wow.
The day King Richard returns, and you hang for your own battles.
Amen to that.
Walter of Donington.
Lord Sheriff.
Good morrow, De Clifford. You've been missing all the fun.
But I am in time for the contests, Lord. What a charming May Queen she makes.
My dear, this is the gentleman I meant. Count de Clifford has done us the honor of asking for your hand in marriage.
I thank you. But I am already promised to Sir Walter of Donington.
Perhaps we'd better leave the fate of today's contest to decide that matter.
Your Majesty of the May, noble lords, ladies, and gentle knights, witness now the contest between the Count de Clifford and Sir Walter of Donington. The Knight of Dark Armor, Sir Haymond of Rance, champion of the Count de Clifford. The Knight of Silver Mail, Sir Walter of Donington, who defends his cause in person.
waiting for you to give the sign.
Turning his sword.
Chivalrous action, but a very foolish one.
Well done, Rob. On time. Here, help me off to this. Walter, I'm sorry we had to treat you so roughly. I don't think the Count de Clifford will be bothering you again. Listen, they're calling for you. Here, put on this tabard and go out and show yourself.
As a false champion, I couldn't face Genevieve again.
What? Robin of Locksley. It was you who fought. Robin Hood, I don't know how to thank you.
Tell this young man to put on his tabard and go out and face the crowd.
Come, Walter.
I'll not go.
Don't you see that Robin has given us our chance? It will be a long time before anyone will challenge Walter of Donington again.
Come on.
I'll not steal another man's honor.
There's no honor involved where a man like de Clifford is concerned.
One day you'll be just as good a swordsman as Robin. But who wants to fight anyway? There are other things in life.
Well, young man, that was nobly done.
I was proud of you, my boy.
Have you no word of praise, sir?
Now that the matter of my estate is settled, my lord, I would be glad if you would name a marriage day.
Of course, my boy. When do you suggest?
Tomorrow would not be too soon for me, my lord.
Tomorrow it is, then.
Robin Hood, riding through the glen. Robin Hood, with his band of men. Feared by the bad, loved by the good. Robin Hood. He called the greatest archers to a tavern on the green. They vowed to help the people of the king. They handled all the trouble on the English country scene and still found plenty of time to sing. Robin Hood, riding through the glen. Robin Hood, with his band of men. Feared by the bad, loved by the good. Robin Hood.